And we're back. The production of Kotaley's cockpit was proceeding nicely. It wasn't all that complicated. Simply put, we were just making it so that the rudder pedal could be operated by hand. If there's going to be a problem, it would probably have been with the layout inside the cockpit or the operability. But since we have Amine's blueprint, those issues have been resolved. Compared to making the wings, this was simple work. It was my first time flying alone, but the sensation of controlling the glider was different.
重量もだけど、重心が変化するもんね。
During the day today, I did a test flight. I just returned from the runway.
一休みして、あっちの作業しましょうか。
You can only do tests while it's light outside. We fly during the day, and then in the evening we'll return to the dock and do production work on Kotaley's cockpit. It was a rather difficult schedule. Shall we eat here again today? We had a portable gas stove in the office. Since we also had electricity, it was possible to do simple cooking.
まるで合宿してるみたいですよね。
Asa was strangely excited. What shall we do for a side dish? Does anyone ever request?
私は何でもいいよ。魚料理が食べたいわ。私は中華がいいです。
So where are we gonna get all that stuff?
私はハンバーグがいい。
Hamburg. Fish for Yogu, Chinese food for Asa, Hamburg, steak for Amane. The Amane? Amane was at the office desk and was working away at the computer.
やあみんな、おかえり。
Don't end her conversation so naturally. I was surprised to suddenly hear from her.
どうしたんですか、こんな時間に。学校に用事があったついでに覗きに来たら誰もいなくて、ここで仕事しながら待ってたんだ。
Amane sometimes comes here to do work. She says it's because she can focus on her work, because there are no loud people around, and she doesn't get phone calls or emails when she's here. Why didn't you call us?
ラボに置いてきた。だってあれうるさいんだ。
What to do with this person? She was saying she had something to do at school, but surely the lab was annoying, so she left and came here.
あれ、小鳥はいないのか？
Oh, Kotaley's at home right now?
そうなのか。なんだ、せっかく会えると思ったのに。
Well, I'm gonna go buy the ingredients.
あ、私も行きます。じゃあ私も。
This sounds like it would be expensive to just have for like some random meal. Oh, I had to sneeze. Anyway, we were gonna buy stuff for dinner. I accidentally clicked on the wrong window.
というわけです。ほぼ設計の通りに言ったか。みんなの加工技術がしっかりしてるおかげだな。そんなことないですよ。先輩のおかげです。
While eating dinner, I announced the results of the test flight of the revised glider Talmire. While eating a Chinese-styled Hamburg steak with fish. From flying it, I can tell the functionality is improved. The stability while it's flying is totally different.
葵くんが上手になったからじゃないのか？
No, that might be part of it, but it's not everything.
で、いくつか調整をしたんですけど。
When Ikeha and Amane begin to talk, usually no one else can follow. That's why I finished the crucial announcements and returned to my meal.
空の上でそんなことが。そうなんですよ。もう私もびっくりで。それでどうなったんだ？もちろんうまくいきましたよ。思った通り相性はバッチリみたいです。なるほど。ということは葵くんと小鳥は今熱々だと。
What are you talking about over there?
テストフライトの話だわ。そうよ。テストフライトの話よ。
I don't think so. What you just said now was totally different.
葵くんがテストフライトの最中に小鳥に告白したんだろ。
Fan, calm down. Keep blowing into the mic.
なかなかロマンチックじゃないか。空の上の告白なんて。
No, that was
あれは良かったよね、朝ちゃん。問答無用で素敵でした。まるでドラマのワンシーンみたいで。
ドラマ。
改めて思い返すと少々わざとらしくもあるけど悪くはなかったわね。私ら地上でハラハラしながら聞いてたんだよ。
Don't listen in on that. I wish they told me that the radio was still on. But at the same time, it wouldn't have been great to be told that while I was in the middle of confessing my love. Ugh.
うまくいってよかったな、葵くん。でもちょっと意外だぞ。
What's so surprising?
いや、てっきりもうずっと昔から2人はそういう関係なのだと思っていた。私も隠してるだけで実はこっそり付き合ってんじゃないかって時々疑ってたわ。すっごく仲良しでしたもんね。葵先輩が小鳥先輩の髪を解いてあげたりして見ていてドキドキしました。
Alright, already, I got it, so just let it be. So embarrassed I could die. Turn away from everyone and eat my dinner.
よかったな。
Amine looked a little bit happy while she ate her Hamburg steak. I'd never heard of a Hamburg steak before. After all that, our meal ended and we were going to get back to work. But before that...
それじゃあ、私はそろそろ帰るよ。
No. Amine, who had finished her dinner, picked up her helmet and key, which had been lying on the her helmet. Amine, what is that?
これか？原付の免許を取ったんだ。ここに来るのにあると便利だからな。
You drive a scooter, Amine.
うん、そうだぞ。高くなければ平気だぞ。注意1秒、怪我一生。くれぐれも事故には注意してくださいね。どうしてみんな同じことを言うかな。
Amine mutters this while preparing to go home.
ああ、そうだ。
Amine remembered something and went back to the office computer. Everyone is curious and gathers in front of the monitor.
シミュレーターをバージョンアップしておいたから適当に使ってくれ。
Oh.
何か変わったんですか？データを改良機のものに直しておいた。
Amine says this while making a face that says, shouldn't that be obvious?
さっき暇だったからやっておいた。前からやろうと思ってたんだ。待ってる間にやっちゃったんですか
Amine nods in puzzlement. She's a rather eccentric person.
ついでに敵グライダーとドッグファイトを展開するシューティングモードもつけてみた。
Oh, okay. So who is in this enemy glider? A dogfight in a glider doesn't seem so cool. That sounds pretty interesting.
それじゃあ帰るぞ。葵くん、ご飯ごちそうさま。
Amine, please be careful when you go home.
君こそ小鳥と仲良くするんだぞ。
Amine, who had appeared suddenly, made a cheerful face and then left.
これで飛べない日もシミュレーターで訓練できるね。
Yeah, Kotori can too. This route is so glitchy. But at least I can understand what all the text is saying, so I can't complain. With a thud, I plunked down on my bed. I have returned from the secret base and have taken my bath. It's almost midnight. Today had been a hard day with the test flights starting in the morning. I'm so tired. While laying on my bed, I reached my hand out to the picture frame that was standing on my desk. Well, at least it's not a new picture, so... Kotori, I wonder what you're doing. In the picture, Kotori has a triumphant look on her face. She's so cute. Yeah, okay. Kotori's face in that picture is so cute that my chest begins to hurt. This is my first time to be away from her for so long. Can't you, like, text her or something? I like how we did that whole, like, blur out thing, but Amine is still there. She was always near me from the day I met her. Even on days where we fought and weren't talking, we were under the same roof and were able to see each other's faces in one way or another. Even if I wasn't able to see her directly, I could sense her presence. Even more than being a friend or lover, she was like family to me. I want her to come back soon. Rather, I wonder if she will come back. As Kotli had said, her father was doting and he may not let her return. No, that couldn't possibly... I mean, she said that he really would take her back, even if she had to abduct her. I'm gonna go away. I returned the picture frame to the desk and took my cell phone into my hand. Oh wow, are you actually gonna do it? There were no calls from her in my history, then why don't you call her? I hadn't gotten any email from her either. I want to hear at least her voice, but I haven't really spoken to Kotli on the phone before. After all, we're in the same class, same club, and live in the same dorm, so it's rarely necessary. I have never called her just to talk with her. But I want to hear her voice. Now, wait a second, this is her first time to be alone with her family in some time. I can't intrude on that. She'll come back the day after tomorrow in any case. Then we'll be able to talk as much as we want. That's probably not going to happen. So I have to resist. She's probably not going to come home. Resist. My phone rang. Kotli Habane. That is written on the display. Hello?
もしもし
Kotli, what's wrong?
葵くんこそどうしたの？なんかすごい勢いだったけど。
No, that's nothing. Don't worry about it. The phone had rung as though the call had been arranged beforehand, so I'd answered in kind of a strange way. I took a deep breath and calmed my heart. Well, what's wrong?
あのね、寝る前にちょっと声が聞きたくて。
Kotli spoke like she was embarrassed. Even though I'm just hearing her through the phone, I can imagine her cheeks brightening like a just ripening apple, I almost said angle, and her gaze shifting out of embarrassment as she talks.
今、忙しい？
Not at all. I wanted to hear your voice too.
そうなんだ。よかった。
How are things with you? You haven't been home for a while, right?
楽しんでるよ。お父さんもお母さんも優しいよ。かえって居心地が悪いくらい。
Well, they hadn't seen their daughter in a while, so they're happy, but maybe a bit flustered. Also, Kotli had first said she wouldn't go home, but then suddenly she said she would. Her parents probably had no idea what had happened.
今日の夕飯ね、私が作ってあげたんだ。ほら、前にアゲハと葵くんと3人で作った料理覚えてる？チキンをトマトと一緒に煮て。
Tomato? Oh, Basque style chicken stew.
そう、それ。そしたらお父さんもお母さんも驚いてた。私、実家にいた頃は料理なんてからきしだったもの。すごいねって褒めてくれたよ。
I'm glad to hear that. That was when Kotli and I weren't calling each other by our first names yet. Only Kotli didn't have dorm duty, so I wanted to give her a role. I made her come and we made everyone's dinner. As everyone liked it, Kotli began to open up to the other dorm students, and everyone recognized me as the dorm mother.
私ね、トビウオ荘に下宿してちゃんと頑張ってるってお父さんとお母さんに見せたかったの。家を出たのが無駄じゃなかったって思ってほしくて。
Well, sounds like you succeeded. I mean, they complimented you, right?
美味しいって言ってた。お母さんにレシピ教えてあげたわ。
I imagined mother and daughter standing in the kitchen and cooking together, and a pleasant mood came over me.
明日は私がお母さんから料理を習うから帰ったら葵くんに食べさせてあげるわね。
The taste of food from the Habane household, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be things Kotli likes to eat. I'm really looking forward to it.
葵くんは何してた？
Well, the same stuff as always. Today we did tests in the morning, and after that, lots of things. Speaking of which, Amane came. She said she got a license to drive a scooter.
あまねちゃんがバイクに乗るの？大丈夫なのかしら？
Kotli had the same reaction too. After that, I told Kotli about the silly things that had happened while she'd been gone. Kotli also told me the silly things that happened at her house. I'm sure if other people heard, they wouldn't care about the content, but we talked enthusiastically, and before we knew it, it was considerably past midnight.
そろそろ寝ないと。明日朝早いの。
Do you have something to do?
お父さんがね、上野の動物園に連れて行ってくれるの。パンダがいるのよ。
Panda. Oh, that sounds nice. Take some pictures, alright?
トラもライオンも、それからワニも撮ってくるね。
Why is she focusing on carnivores?
うん
Alright, good night. He says to himself, we couldn't say those words. I miss you. My real feelings suddenly leaked out.
私も葵くんに早く会いたい。
I have to be patient for 2 more days. That's why I was thinking I shouldn't intrude on Kotobi while she's alone with her family.
こんなに離れて過ごすの初めてだよね。
Yeah.
葵くんがいないとこんなに寂しいなんて知らなかった。いつも寝るとき思ってるよ、葵くんのこと。
Me too. I always sleep after looking at the pictures we took together. I could sense Kotobi's embarrassed laughter on the other end.
離れて過ごして実感しまくり。私は葵くんのことが大大大好きなんだって。そう思うと実家に帰るのも悪くなかったかな。自分の気持ちを確かめられたから。
Kotobi, I like you too. I love you. On the other end, Kotobi laughed timidly.
それじゃあもう寝るね。
Alright, I'll sleep too. Enjoy the pandas, alright? Good night, Kotobi.
おやすみなさい、葵くん。
Shoo. Conversation ended. And she kissed me. My face feels hot. Gosh darn it, why did she kiss me? I can't sleep now. I squirmed around on my bed. Like your 12 drink break. Hello? I hear noise. Okay.
こわ
I don't know what that was about.
こわこわ。どうしたのハットちゃん。もうお腹いっぱい。
Had, who had been eating his food, suddenly started making a commotion. He ignored his food and started flapping around the dining room.
ハットちゃん。
What's wrong with him? It wasn't like that glutton to just leave his food. Oh, it couldn't be. I ran for the entrance, trailing a bit behind Hat. Standing there was...
あんた、いい子にしてた？かが。
Kotori gathered Hat onto her lap and stroked his back. Kotori.
葵くん。
Kotori looked at me and then timidly averted her gaze. I couldn't take my eyes off her. Even though we'd only been apart for a few days, it felt like much longer. Welcome back.
ただいま。
Her bashful smile was overwhelmingly cute.
これがアゲハので、こっちがアマネちゃん。で、あったあった。これが朝と夜の分。
Kotori distributed the souvenirs she brought back.
パンダクッキーだ。かわいい。で、これがカナの。おお、ワニのスリッパだ。かっこいい。ありがとう。写真もたくさん撮ってきたのよ。
Kotori spread the pictures she took out on the table.
トラでしょ、ワニでしょ。それから見て見て、ハットの仲間たち。
As on the others looked at the pictures excitedly. Here you are, Hibari. I gave some cold barley tea to Hibari, who was sitting a distance away.
いただきます。今日も暑いからたくさん汗かいちゃって。
I don't know if I mentioned this, but the way she stands like that makes it look like she has no arms. Kotori's father had to work again starting today. Seems that he tearfully gave up the role of taking his daughter back and left it to Hibari. How was home?
父も母もすごく喜んでいました。小鳥ちゃんが帰ってきてくれて。
Kotori, who is excitedly talking about the zoo pictures she laid out, narrows her eyes and stares at Hibari.
まるで昔に戻ったみたいで。
Okay, calm down. Then she was overcome with emotion and began to cry. Are you okay, Hibari?
ごめんなさい。つい嬉しくて。
I quietly handed her a tissue.
これもトビウオソウの皆さんのおかげだと両親も感謝していました。小鳥ちゃんが帰るって言ってくれたのは水瀬さんのおかげなんですよね。
Me? No, I didn't really.
小鳥ちゃんがそう言ってましたよ。
I see. I want you to say more things like that. It's not weird for you to say things like that. I probably just got her a little bit. It seemed like she had wanted to go home for a while. It's just that she didn't have an impetus. Okay. While I'm saying that, Hibari looks at me with kindness in her eye. Hey, Hibari?
帰りの車の中で小鳥ちゃんから聞きました。今お付き合いなさってるんですよね。
Talk faster. Yeah, I have the honor of dating Kotori.
そう。小鳥ちゃんに彼氏が。
She's moved to tears again. However, her tears don't seem to be only those of happiness. Here you go.
ありがとう。
Hibari takes the tissue I hand her and blows her nose and wipes away her tears. Wipes her tears away.
小鳥ちゃんのことよろしくお願いしますね。
Calm down, nothing's
ひば
happening.
りね、仕事行かなくていいの？
Kotori looked at the clock and called over to Hibari.
いいの、もう十分遅刻だから。
Oh, is that how it works?
よくないでしょ、早く行きなよ。でももうちょっと小鳥ちゃんと一緒にいたいし。ダメ、早く行くの。ほら、それだけは許して。
Hibari stood up in a hurry.
じゃあお姉ちゃんもう行くわね。小鳥ちゃん、ちゃんといい子にしてるのよ。はいはい。それから
Hibari looked at me.
お付き合いは清く正しく美しくよ。
Kotori's face went red.
はっとガガ
Hibari left as though she were being chased out. Kotori...
いいのいいの、このくらいしないとお昼ご飯食べるまでここに居座っちゃうんだから。それよりお腹すいた。何かない？
Oh, wait a second, I'll make you something. I opened the fridge and surveyed the leftovers.
おかえり小鳥。ハギハ、元気だった？
As soon as they met at the secret base, they beamed at each other. If Kotori hadn't been in a wheelchair, perhaps they would have hugged.
おお、小鳥だ。
Amane, who had been facing the computer and typing away, lifted her head after a delay.
あまねちゃんもいる。事故に遭ってないでしょうね。そんなのあったりしないぞ。私はちゃんと免許も持ってるんだからな。ダメよ、そういう慢心が事故の元なんだから。あまねちゃんはビクビクしてるくらいがちょうどいいの。分かった。
Shortly after seeing Amane, Kotori suddenly began to lecture her. That impudent side of hers is cute too.
実家どうだった？楽しかったよ。でも退屈だったかな。何にもすることないんですもの。そうそう、お土産買ってきたの。
Kotori lined up panda cookies and panda jam buns. Did you just buy everyone those cookies?
かわいい。食べるのもったいなくなっちゃうね。あまねちゃん、はいこれ。なんだこれは。
I can understand getting food for her.
交通安全のお守り。バイクの免許を取ったって聞いて慌てて近所の神社にお祈りに行ったのよ。
The one person you didn't get food for is Amane, alright?
たっぷりと情念を込めておいたから肌身離さず持ち歩くこといいわね。うん、分かった。
No one cut in and asked why emotion would enhance the charm.
でね、いっぱい写真撮ったの。
Kotori spreads out the pictures again.
動物園行ったんだ。いいなあ。パンダだ。
You sound surprised. She brought like a bunch of panda themed things. Were you not expecting to see a panda?
とっても可愛かったわ。パンダって本当に白黒なのよ。
You don't say. Totally speaks passionately while also showing pictures of tigers, lions, and crocodiles. Did she even see anything else? I guess she saw some ducks. It seems that the zoo was extremely fun. After listening to Kotoli talk about her trip for a while.
私らもあんたに見せたいものがあるんだ。何？何これ？
Looking at the thing Geha wanted to show her, Kotoli bent her head to the side.
まあまだ未完成だからね。この辺りにシートが来るわけ。でこれがもしかして私用のコックピット。ご明察。
Without the seat, it's hard to see what it is just from a glance.
本当は小鳥先輩が戻ってくる前に仕上げたかったんですけど。
テストしながらじゃさすがに間に合わなくてね。
でももうすぐ完成ですよ。
Kotoli got closer and looked hard at it.
これが操縦桿で、こっちのレバーでラダー操作だ。両方とも手で操作できる。もう一息で完成するから。そしたら飛べるよ。あんたも。ありがとう、みんな。
Everyone smiled as if to say you're welcome.
さてと、じゃ今日の部活を始めますか。
Everyone was full of energy and set about working. Kotoli muttered this while watching Amane start the engine of her scooter. Amane, please be careful going home.
おう、任せろ。制限速度はちゃんと守るぞ。
Amane got into her scooter while saying this and added.
じゃあな、おやすみ。
あまねさん、さようなら。
さようなら。
Scooter carrying Amane chugged along slowly, following the speed limit, and drove away.
さて、私らも帰りますか。
A convenience store came into view. This is where Agea splits off to go home. Agea came over to where I was.
帰ったらちゃんと小鳥に甘えさせてあげなさいよ。あの子ずっと葵の方を見てそわそわしてたわよ。
Oh.
それじゃまた明日ね。バイバイアゲハ。
おやすみなさい、アゲハ先輩。また明日。
I'm back.
葵先輩、小鳥先輩、今日もお疲れ様でした。お疲れ様。
Same to you, Asa. Yogu, I'm sorry to always make you take along.
別に暇ですから。
Why don't you two take a bath, Kotoli, too?
わかった。
Alright, during that time, I guess I'll do some cleaning.
行きましょう、小鳥先輩。
Good, we're not joining her. Oh, that bath felt good. It was finally time for my bath after the girls' bath ended. I stayed in the bath until my fingers got wrinkled and washed off the sweat that had accumulated during the day. Inside the dorm, everything has gone quiet, as the others must have already gone to sleep. While walking down the hallway towards my air-conditioned room,
じー。
from a crack in the door, Kotoli was looking at me. It seemed that she had been waiting for me to pass by. Hey, what are you doing? Kotoli opened the door, came halfway out into the hallway, and restlessly surveyed the area. Then, after judging that no one was around, she came out and moved towards me.
会いたかった。
Here's this music again. Does this music suit this situation? No, it doesn't. It doesn't suit any situation. Kotoli, you can't hug me from the front, took my hand from the side and squeezed it forcefully.
会いたかった。会いたかった。会いたかった。
While saying that, she pulled on my arm. Ow, I missed you too. Totally let out a cute groan, then looked around again and, leading me by the hand, moved her wheelchair. Where are you going? She doesn't answer. I was pulled into Kotalie's room just like that. Don't do it.
ハト、しばらく外に出てて。
Actually, yeah, feel free to do it. This is, I guess I could end the video here if they do.
ぐわ
Kotalie threw out Hat, who was protesting, and shut the door. She blocked Hat's pet door with a bag so that couldn't be opened either. Then she took my arm and squeezed it again.
葵くん、会いたかったよ。
I missed you too, Kotalie. With my other hand, I stroked her hair. A scent of shampoo drifted faintly from her glossy hair. Lights weren't on in the room, and perhaps because of the dimness, the silence was almost palpable.
ね
Huh.
え、浮気しなかった？よ
Of course not.
かった。
Kotalie rubbed her cheek against my hand as if out of relief. Somehow it feels good.
葵くん、お願いがあるんだけど。
What is it?
髪、もっと撫でて。
Alright, I will. She didn't even have to ask. I continued to stroke her hair. Her glossy hair was still a bit damp from her bath and felt different than usual. I stroked it softly. With a contented look on her face, Kotalie trembled slightly. Do you like having your hair stroked?
そうみたい。葵くんに撫でてもらって発見したの。
She answers while shivering. She was like a cat who had gotten catnip.
葵くんの手、大きいね。私の頭、すっぽり入っちゃいそう。
Oh, that's because you have a small head, Kotalie. Kotalie's head is round and nicely shaped. Natural beauties are made of different stuff than the rest of us. Entranced, Kotalie hugged my arm and unwaringly pushed her chest against it. Soft sensation enveloped my arm. Really? Did it? And she doesn't seem to have any sort of, like, chest. Of course, I didn't point it out and pretended I wasn't aware of it. So soft, her breasts are actually reasonably sized, except they're not. I saw in that one CG. Though it's above the clothes, it's summer, so the layers are thin. Soft feeling pressing against my arms was the softness of thank you.
ね
I looked onto Kotalie and she was staring up at me with cute and moist eyes. Kotalie is always in her wheelchair, and that's why she always has to look up at me. That's why I know it's not on purpose, but it is cunningly cute. And then she signaled with her lips. Spoiled child. And so I gave her a quick kiss on the lips.
え、もう一回。
Kissed, lightly pressing our lips together.
にゃははは。
What is that?
にゃははは。
Okay.
帰省の前の日にキスなんてするから、もうずっと頭から離れなかったのよ。枕にチューとかしてたんだから。
Gross. Oh, sorry to have done that to you.
葵くんはなんだか余裕って感じ。私のことあんまり考えなかった？
There's no way that'd happen. I kissed my pillow too.
本当？
Yeah, really, but the actual thing is much better.
でしょ？
Kotalie was being shy. I kissed her again. Kotalie is always cute, but today she looked even cuter than usual. Maybe it's because I hadn't been able to see her for a while. Still holding hands with Kotalie, I sat down in her bed. Then I looked around her room vaguely. This is the third or fourth time I've entered Kotalie's room. No matter how close we are, I can't very well just enter a girl's room. Aren't you gonna turn on the lights?
ああ、もう寝ようと思ってたから。そしたら葵くんがお風呂から出てくる音が聞こえて。
So that's why she was peering at me through the crack in the door like that.
あんまり見ないで。可愛くないでしょ？私の部屋。
I like that thing on her bed. That's not true, it's simple.
だって物が多いと邪魔になるから。
There was basically nothing placed on the floor. There's basically nothing on the floor, probably because it would get in the way when she moved her wheelchair.
部屋だと本を読むか勉強するか、ハットと遊ぶくらいしかすることがないし。
Kotalie doesn't have any typical hobbies, it seems. I heard that she liked to move her body, so she probably exercised a lot before the accident.
ねえ隣に座りたい
Totally held out both of her hands. Alright. I went to lift it up Totally. I went to lift up Totally, but then waited for a moment. How do you usually get into your bed?
ここに車椅子を置いて車輪が動かないようにロックして
She demonstrated the actions while she spoke.
でも葵君には見せたくない
Why?
なんとなくきっと変だって思うだろうから
I had seen her get in and out of her wheelchair, and it looked like she was just doing that rather difficult. Well, it seemed... Wait. And it looked like just doing that was rather difficult. Ugh. I'm sure it's a lot of effort to get into the bed. Took Kotole's hand and held her close. Lifted her like that, and then sat her down on the bed. Kotole was at her wit's end. Perhaps she hadn't emotionally prepared for it. To be honest, I felt a little awkward too, but Kotole was more bashful than she had to be, so I was fine. Then I sat her down the bed, or so I thought. Kotole tumbled backwards and fell over. Oh, are you okay? Kotole spoke shyly, facing away from me. Hat is still there. It wasn't just awkwardness, it seemed she really was embarrassed. I realized that for Kotole, who doesn't have the use of her lower body, it's easy to fall forward or backwards when she doesn't have a seat back, and isn't careful. I reached my hand out to help her up, but she refuses to take my hand. Maybe she's embarrassed that I saw her like that. You can just stay like that. I lifted Kotole's legs onto the bed and then got onto the bed myself and laid next to her. Are we getting a CG? Yeah, we are getting a CG that I'll have to go to the gallery to look at. Oh no. Ugh. This is easier, isn't it?
でも近いよ
I thought it would be better to be close.
近い方がいいけど恥ずかしい
Kotole says this with her eyes tearing up. I brought my face and lips to hers and then kissed the tip of her nose. Can I hug you?
ちょっとだけなら
I hugged Kotole gently, enveloping her small body. Wrapped in my arms, Kotole let out a strange sigh. Your hair smells good, like shampoo. Oh, okay, yeah, it's almost like she just washed it. I pressed my nose to her hair and took in the scent. Okay, that's weird.
葵君は汗の匂いがする
No way, I just took a bath.
でもいい匂いだよ
Oh,
くんか癖になりそうな匂い
okay. I don't talk about people like they're some kind of delicacy. I unwrapped my arms from her and looked at her from the front. Kotole, I love you. Kotole looked back at me.
このまま眠っちゃえばいい夢見られそうおやすみなさい
She closes her eyes. Don't go to sleep.
いいじゃない葵君に添い寝してもらいながら寝たいんだもんねえ子守歌歌ってよ
Kotole, aren't you being a little defenseless? I might play tricks on you while you're sleeping.
マジックでヒゲ描いたりとか
She said it seriously? No, that's not what I meant.
鼻をつまんだりほっぺをつっついたりするのならいいよしても
Seems she wants me to do some mischief to her. I could end up touching even more of you.
例えば
No, I'm saying I didn't expect her to not get it after hinting at it this much, so I was stuck on words. You always say you're a cute young girl, and yet you don't act as if you're aware of it, do you?
しょうがないじゃないこんな体なんだから
That's got nothing to do with it. You are extremely cute, okay? Your face and your body, and you've got great proportions, quotations. A really cute girl. I said this much, and yet she still didn't fully believe it.
いいもんそれならそれで葵くんがちょっとくらいエッチでも私嫌いにならないよだからもう寝るねおやすみなさい
At least change into your pajamas.
じゃあ着替えさせてよ。
Alright, well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.